Okay, so welcome to the Monday night call and massive welcome to everyone, particularly if you're a new consultant in Michelle Sutherland's Nation. So my name's Jenna Dahl. I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne. I'm just going to be doing the intro for our main speaker tonight because she is just fabulous and doesn't need much of an introduction to many of you, but I just wanted to come on and say a few words about Ashley for anyone that has yet to hear her speak or to meet her, because she is an absolute bundle of energy. I'm so excited she's doing the call for us tonight. And Ashley has been in Arbonne now for about 5 years, I want to say. She's been a regional vice president for 3 of those years, just had that 3-year anniversary. And she's just recently promoted out another area manager over in New Zealand. So she's got a phenomenal global business and knows a thing or two about urgency and building with pace, and just has built a phenomenal business. And it's been my absolute pleasure to get to know Ashley over the last few years, be her roomie at things, and she's an absolute wonder woman. So Ashley is a mum of 4 beautiful kids, and wife to David, who still works away from home. So she's built this business around a hugely busy career at the beginning and those gorgeous children, and is just a real example of someone who has never let all of that stuff get in her way. She's also been an AIT achiever. She was a main stage speaker at last year's AAC, and I'm delighted to pass over to her. She's going to be talking about the next 90 days in your business. So it's perfect timing for earning that Harvey Nicks incentive, getting to area manager, and just having a different title or two by the time the year rolls to a close in December. So Ashley, thank you so much for coming on and doing the call tonight. I'm going to pass over to you.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, brilliant, excellent. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Thank you for asking me. It's such an honour and privilege always to be asked by another nation to come on and train. So I'm delighted. Obviously, a load of familiar faces in this nation, so that's exciting. And you guys are part of a team that is just, the energy is so high. The team is going places, and what I would say, first of all, is just like, do not allow the power of that to bypass you, because when you're surrounded by people in this business who are on a total mission, you have 2 options. You either are swept along by that momentum, you might not even know what you're doing, you might not have a clue what's going on, but you just pick up on the energy and you just roll with it, or you don't. And I can honestly say that one of the reasons that my success was accelerated in Arbonne when I first started my business was not because I had skills. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I had never done anything like this in my life before. Never knew anything about health and wellness products or anything. Didn't even know what network marketing was when I was introduced to the concept. I remember someone saying to me, is it one of those pyramid schemes? I was like, oh, I'm not sure. What's a pyramid scheme? Because I literally had no idea what I was doing. Like, don't even know what this was and why people would even ask that question. And do you know what though? I was just completely mesmerised and captivated by this energy and this vibe about where this company was going. And that is the most important thing. So I'm going to speak to you guys about the next 90 days in your business, about being all in, about closing that back door, about parking the excuses and getting on with the job at hand. Because in this business, in 3 months, you can achieve anything. You might have heard this said before, but either promoting to another level in Arbonne or significantly shifting your paycheck in the positive, the upward direction is a 3-month decision. And so I absolutely love training on this topic, because anything worth doing in Arbonne will take 90 days to implement and to see those results. So I'm going to speak to you about why that's so important and give you some top tips along the way based on my own experiences as well. So you might be sitting there as a brand new independent consultant, you might be at district manager level, you might be an area manager in qualification or an area manager or even a regional vice president or a nation if you're Michelle. And you're looking at ways that you can accelerate your business in the next 90 days. Now, the great news is this quarter is the biggest quarter in Arbonne's calendar year. We are set for explosive growth. The guys in Australia have just had their Australia and New Zealand AAC, which the feedback I've had from was phenomenal. Everyone is just absolutely buzzing on the back of that. We've got UK AAC coming up in just over a week's time. And on the back of that, we're then coming into the period of the year in the lead up to Christmas, in the lead up to the end of the year. And Arbonne has always historically gone crazy at this time of year. So if you want to hit a goal, now is absolutely the time to be doing this. What you want to be deciding right now is that you are prepared to do the work for the next 3 months and beyond, of course, but looking at setting your sights on that 90 days, on achieving that Harvey Nicks incentive, on growing your paycheck. It's not even just about the incentive. The incentive's brilliant. I was lucky enough to earn that a few years ago. Well, there's no luck, is there? You work towards earning that a few years ago. I was there actually with Jenna at Harvey Nicks in Edinburgh, had a day of being treated like an absolute princess, and it was just the best thing. It was like one of those days where you're like, is this actually my life? This is just absolutely brilliant. You'll be surrounded by amazing people. You will have the best social media posts ever that day. And people are going to look at your business and go, what is that? Like, seriously, do they get to do that? So that is an amazing incentive to go after. But of course, most importantly, what you're going to do in the next 3 months is going to move you towards that ultimate goal, where you want to be in this company, what sort of paycheck you want to grow, moving towards achieving your why. And of course, your why is going to evolve over time in this business. But it's all about, you know, the wider goal, the wider achievement, exactly what you want to get out of this business. So I honestly believe that whatever has happened in the past is in the past. There is no time like the present. We as humans are really good at saying, I'm going to work on that tomorrow. I'm going to get into a really good routine with my business tomorrow. I'm going to rewrite my 100 list tomorrow. And it's, you know, when you own a business like Arbonne, where at the end of the day, you're your own boss, it's really easy to put off to tomorrow what you could actually be doing today. And actually, it's when we do that our businesses never move forward. One of the most important light bulb moments that I had when I was at the Global Training Conference in Vegas was from Ashley Strong, National Vice President, like superwoman in Arbonne, going like at speed of lightning towards that ultimate $1 million club goal that she has. And she said, never trust your future self. And that stuck with me so much because I knew that was the thing that I needed to work on. I was always thinking about what I was going to do rather than what I was just going to do right this minute or what I am doing this minute. So much of what you do in your business depends on now, not tomorrow, not next week, not 3 months' time. It depends on the now. So what is your game plan for the next 90 days, guys? Do you have a game plan? And if you don't, then you need to get your head into that game plan. You need to decide where you want to be, how much you want to earn, what you're prepared to do in terms of the work that you're going to put in, what sacrifices you're going to make, because you're going to have to make them. Nothing worth having in this life comes easy, but the things that we do, the things that we put effort into will reap those rewards over and over and over again in a business like Arbonne. So why is now the time? Well, I honestly have never been so excited about network marketing and about Arbonne. Network marketing is growing at the most phenomenal rate imaginable. There are thousands of network marketing companies out there, and actually saying that used to scare me a little bit because I felt as though, oh, there's so much competition out there. We've got thousands of companies to compete against. But now, with the level of belief that I have in our business here in Arbonne, I love telling people that there are thousands of network marketing companies out there because I know that being an Arbonne consultant, we are part of the creme de la creme of network marketing companies. And I am so proud of our heritage, of our 40-year history that we have, our ethos, our philosophy, the fact that we are now owned by Groupe Rocher. Do you even understand how amazing that is? if there's any part of you doesn't really get why that's so important, go onto Vimeo and follow Sarah Dunning on there, because she talks about it a lot. And if you feel you need educated in understanding why that sort of acquisition was such a huge thing for us in Arbonne, then go on and listen to her talk about it, because Groupe Rocher invested millions of dollars and huge amounts of time in making sure that they were purchasing the company that they wanted, the company that they could see was going to evolve and grow and develop and had that potential, that global potential for future massive expansion. And that just excites me so much, because we have all of this heritage and all of this future expansion, and Groupe Rocher have the infrastructure. They're in all of these global countries that we haven't even touched yet. The plans are in place. Our business is going to explode, guys. If you're not on the Arbonne train, and I mean properly on the train, in your seat, ready to absolutely steam forward, then you need to have a serious think about what you're doing. What is holding you back? Because if you could see and feel what I see and feel for the future of this company, wild horses would not stop you from getting up every day earlier than you've ever done before to share this business opportunity with every single breathing person that comes into your radius. Seriously, that is how exciting this actually is. So speed is the name of the game. And what I would say is that, yes, this is all stuff for the future. This is all stuff to look forward to, but you have to act now so that by the time all of this good stuff happens, you're in the strongest position imaginable to take your business into other countries, because you've solidified the business that you have in your own country. I would say you want to be a minimum of a region. You want to really be a nation. And do you know what, guys? Anything is possible. Anyone who's in the UK, or probably all markets, will have heard of Regional Vice President Claire Fishenden, who got to region in 3 months. Caroline McFarlane, when she started her business, got to region in 16 weeks, guys, without a proper website, having to phone in orders. No one knowing anything about this business, didn't have the infrastructure in place, didn't have all the training and education and resources and uplines and everything that we have, had none of that, and still managed to get to region in 16 weeks. It's been done now all over the world in Arbonne so many times that people are just like looking at this and seeing, right, okay, it's possible to get, it is possible, it's maybe not probable and it's not average, but it's possible to get into the white Mercedes in 12 weeks. Why would I not do that if someone else has done that? That is the reality of it. You might be thinking, oh, that's too much for me, I don't want to do that. That's okay. But if you're still sitting in your business years down the line, setting your goal for February next year that you're going to be an area manager, you don't have enough urgency. You're never going to get there. And I'm sorry if that's a truth bomb and it's a bit of a lightning bolt, but guys, nothing is going to help you in this business if we just put things across and sugarcoat them and tell you it's all okay, and it's lovely because you're in a positive environment, you're surrounded by lovely people, and you can take it at your own pace, and you're your own boss, so do what you want. Yeah, that is the best thing about Arbonne, but it's also the worst thing about Arbonne, especially if you want to get results. So wake up and smell the coffee, guys, and decide now that you're prepared to do more than you've ever done, to put in more effort than you ever have, because do you know what? If Claire Fishenden can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. So I would say minimum by the end of the next 90 days, you want to be an area manager. You want to have a willable business. You want to be earning, if you're in the UK, anything from £800 up to about £2,500 per month. Why would you not want to achieve that on top of everything that you have already? If you've got a full-time job, part-time job, or even if Arbonne's your main source of income, if that money is on the table, take it. Arbonne's compensation plan is the most generous type of compensation plan out there. Our compensation plan is designed so that if you are building a strong, sustainable business, you're bringing people in and you're promoting them out, and you're bringing more people in and you're promoting them out. If you're doing that, you will maximize the plan and you will earn on every single portion of your business. it's not really until, I guess, you do a bit of research into other companies and other types of compensation plans that are out there that you realise how good this is. And I actually find it like ridiculous when I hear people saying things like, you know, people who know nothing about it, who'll say, oh yeah, my friend worked for them, they treated her so badly. And you're like, what? Like how did they treat her badly? Like, one, it's the most positive environment I've ever been part of, but two, they literally set this out for us so that we can earn as much money as we want. Like, no glass ceiling, we can build infinite width, we can do whatever we want in this business. If we're prepared to put in the effort, we can achieve anything. Like, that is the fairest way of being paid on this earth. It's so much fairer than trading time for money. It's so much fairer than being part of a network marketing company who only pay you on your two strongest legs in your business. We pay you on everything. And it's just phenomenal when you really, really take a step back and look at what we've got in our hands. So with the next 90 days, and then, you know, we're sort of coming into that period of time, start now. You'll have heard this a million times, but there is a big difference between making a decision and really making a decision to go for it. Having a no matter what attitude means that you are prepared to go that extra mile and keep on going that extra mile. And I'm talking about keeping going that extra mile consistently over time. It's the marriage of consistency and time that creates success in Arbonne. So yes, we've spoken about speed and how anything is possible, but you must give this business time as well. It's a 5-year business plan, not a 5-day or a 5-week or a 5-month business plan. And most people, 90% of people, if not more, will quit before payday because they just don't have that entrepreneurial mindset. So even looking ahead just to the next 90 days, you're going to need to be prepared to put in effort consistently for 90 days, even if the results are not showing up. And here's a bit of another truth bomb. The chances are it might not show up in the way you want it to within that 90 days, but you have to have the faith that one day, honestly, it just starts happening and the QV just starts coming in from places that you didn't even expect it, you didn't know it was coming in, people's names are appearing on your web stats who you've never heard of, and it's magical. Because you realise at that point in time that you have built a business that is duplicating by itself, and it's duplicating to the extent that you don't even know the people that are in your business anymore. And that's actually really, really powerful. Sarah Dunning speaks all the time about how in this business, 90% of what you do will not earn you a penny, but 10% of what you do will earn you a fortune. And again, that's all about having that entrepreneurial mindset. Will you keep on going when the going gets tough? Are you the person that when life gets in the way, it's easy to park Arbonne? It's easy to take anything that's going on and turn it into an excuse. And if you do that, don't worry, because you're not alone. Most people do, and that's why most people don't succeed in businesses like network marketing, but the decision is yours. So the best part about that is that even if that's the person you have been up until now you can rewrite your story. Now you can decide that you're no longer going to be that person. Now you can decide that your why means more to you than the excuses, and that you're prepared to go the extra mile, and that you understand that whenever we've got excuses, we can't have results because they don't live well together. So it's all about recognizing the fact that we think we have time. We always think we have time. We've got all the time in the world to do this. But in actual fact, what if we decided that, or what if we recognised that no, we don't actually have the time? That actually time is something that, sorry, I knew that was going to happen. I could see somebody coming to my door and the dog just starts to go crazy. Hang on one second, guys. Sorry about this, but I just need to check that my daughter's actually getting in the front door. I think she is. So yeah, we think we've got time. I've had people in my business say things to me like, I know I'll be a nation one day. I will definitely be a nation one day. Like, but I'm just going to take it at my own pace. I'm just going to go at my own pace. You know, I'm going to maybe put in a few hours this week, maybe next week. Oh, I'm on holiday, so I'm not going to work my business while I'm on holiday. But I know one day I'll become a nation. And I've actually had the conversation of like, well, what if you don't become a nation? Because you're never getting consistent with that effort. That is the reality. We think we've got time, but time is ticking away every single day. And let's be honest, would it not be so much better to have the time after we've put in the work? Once we've got that business, that leverage, that residual income that's paying us, even if we put our feet up for the rest of our lives, we've built such a strong business that it would never stop growing. Would that not be the ultimate? Because we've put in so much effort now that we can enjoy that time at a later date. So this is about deciding for the next, you know, having that strength of mindset, deciding that you have a no matter what attitude. It's all about deciding if you're in the 90% or if you're in the 10%. 90% of people set a goal, do a little bit of work on that goal, don't do enough work consistently over time, don't achieve the goal, and then blame. So blame Arbonne, blame their upline, blame network marketing, blame their job even for getting in the way, blame their family, blame the fact that they don't have enough time, any of these things. And if you're thinking in that way, because the thing is that in life, you're always in one of three states. You're either in Arbonne, you're always in a state of blame, a state of justification, or a state of progression and growth. These things cannot live together. So you're either thinking about blaming yourself, blaming your upline, blaming all the people around you, blaming your team. We're also guilty of that. If my team would just do a wee bit more, then I would be a region by now. And the reality is that it's not about anyone else. It's just about you. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So if you're not happy with how quick your team are moving towards their goals, then the first place you need to look is inward. You need to look at yourself and see what you're doing. Or you can be in a state of justification. I've been really busy with the kids. We've been moving house. I've started a new job. I've just not had the time. Life's being crazy at the moment. I'm pregnant. Like, all this stuff could be going on in your life. But the bottom line is that nothing will grow if we're living in a state of blame or justification. So it's actually, everybody does this, by the way. So like, don't beat yourself up if you do it. Everyone does it. But what it's about is being so personally developed that you start to recognize it, that you notice yourself going into that state and you stop and you acknowledge that that's what you've done. And then you move into taking action to get into growth, to progress your business, positive steps in the right direction, because that's the only thing that's going to move us forward. Growth can't exist with blame or justification next door to it. If you're in the 10%, and this is where you want to be, 10% of people will do the do regardless. So I thought this was really interesting. I think I was reading this or listening to an audio recently, and it was saying that 90% of people won't do the work. 10% of people will do the work. The 10% have still got all of the same stuff going on that the 90% do. They've still got the busy life. They've still got potentially relationship problems. They've maybe got ill family members. They've maybe got kids that are driving them crackers. They've maybe got really bad stuff going on at work, stress at work, their boss is on their case. Maybe they're facing redundancy. All of the stuff that happens to us in life is still going on for the 10%. But they choose not to allow it to impact them. They choose that their goal in the next 90 days in Arbonne is more important than anything else, and that irrespective of what's going on, they will continue to move forward, and their vision is so focused that nothing will get in their way. They literally have their blinkers on. They're not allowing anything that's going on around them to impact on what they have, on their focus on that goal. And that's the difference. And what I love about that is that you can choose to be that 10%. You know, you don't need any special skills to be that 10%. You don't need to have confidence to be the 10%. You don't need to have this phenomenal knowledge of all Arbonne products, or you don't need to be able to like regurgitate the compensation plan off the top of your head. You just need to be so focused on the activity that you're in that nothing is going to get in your way. And your why actually has to be so strong that the consequence of not achieving it doesn't even bear thinking about. Jim Rohn, I love this quote from Jim Rohn. He says, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." And I love that so much because it's so true. We often wish that building this business was easier, but the reality is, guys, that it could not be any easier. Arbonne is not difficult. Honestly, I know that it can feel difficult at times, but it's not Arbonne that's difficult. It's just your mindset. That's all it is. Your mindset can be a challenge because we tell ourselves stories, we make up stuff in our heads. I had a girl a few weeks ago, I started talking to her about the business. I went and did a one-to-one with her. I thought it went really well. She was giving nothing away. Like, you know, she was like nodding in all the right places, but not giving anything away. Sent her away with products, followed up with her, added her to a couple of different groups and stuff to get a few more exposures, and invited her onto an online DA. So she'd had like various exposures, and then I got in touch with her, followed up, and she was like, actually, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. It sounds really good. So I was like, boom, right, okay. Sent her the information to get signed up, and she was all like, oh, we're going to be amazing. This is going to be great. I'm going to love working with you. She was making all the right noises. And then she just literally disappeared off the face of the earth. And I was like, what happened? So I started, we know a guy, we've got a mutual friend who's a PT, who I believe promotes another brand. So I start telling myself this story that, you know, she's spoken to him. I know he doesn't really like Arbonne. He'll have told her all the bad stuff, even though I told her not to listen to anyone else, and all this was going on. So I literally had everything in my head about why she wasn't going to do the business. And I got in touch with her again and said, I know I've not heard from you. Is everything okay? You know, if you've changed your mind, don't worry, but let's have a chat about it. We need to make sure you're making an informed decision. And she got back to me like the next day and was like, I'm really sorry. I've just been on a training course with work and I've just not had a minute to get onto my phone. And I was like, oh, like, even now, you know, I'm sitting here like training you guys on what to think. Everybody goes through this stuff. We all think these crazy thoughts, but it's just a matter of learning to recognise them. Now, the next time that happens to me, I'll remember that and I'll go, don't tell yourself any stories that are not true. Sit back and think, what am I telling myself here? It's not the truth. It's just a thought. It's not real. So park it aside and get on with the things that you can control, because you cannot control someone's response as to whether or not they want to do Arbonne or whether they want or not they want to buy your products. All you can do is control reaching out to people and asking, reaching out to people and sharing products, reaching out to people and showing them how wonderful the opportunity is. Control the controllable and everything else will just fall into place. So remember, guys, in 3 months, you can achieve anything or you can achieve nothing. It all depends on what you're prepared to do every single day between now and reaching the end of this period of time that lies ahead. Your business could move mountains in this space of time if you just get to work. So what I would suggest is that you decide now where you want to be in 3 months, okay? Some tips on doing that. Don't undersell yourself. We've got this wonderful incentive, the Harvey Nicks incentive, that I know loads of you are going to want to go after because it's so amazing. But do you know what? If your goal is higher than reaching area manager level, then go for the bigger goal. One mistake that I made when I started Arbonne was having my eye so firmly on the prize of becoming a regional vice president that when I became a regional vice president, I've sat at this level for 3 years. Now, I'm not complaining. I am absolutely so grateful to have this business in my life and to be at this level and to have a regional vice president's paycheck. But I want to get to the next level. I'm working to the next level. And part of what I did was didn't look beyond that goal. My vision was never for beyond that goal. My vision was always to achieve that. And it's amazing how even without recognizing it, your mind sets itself on a goal and works to that goal. And then if you don't recalibrate that quickly and believe you can get to the next level, then you're just going to stay where you are. So decide what you're actually capable of. don't sell yourself short. Know what you can do, know what you can achieve, and go for that goal. Don't choose the goal just because you feel as if it's the next step either. Sometimes we can be guilty of saying, I'm going for area manager call because you're a district manager and you feel like that's the next step. But maybe the next step for you is bonusing as a district, or maybe the next step for you is just going for a region. It could be that the next step for you is that you have a monetary value that you need to achieve in your paycheck. And there could be multiple ways to do that, like double bonus this month, like getting into call for the next level, like becoming or signing up more preferred clients and growing your commission side of your paycheck. It can be loads of different things. So don't feel as if you've got to set a goal just because you feel it's the right thing to do. Really dig deep and think, where do I need to improve in my business? What outcome am I looking for? And be really specific on that, because if it's a goal that you truly believe in and that is meaningful to you, you'll break it down and you're way more likely to achieve it than just to stick a goal into the air because you feel as if that's what your upline wants to hear or that's what your sidelines are doing. So decide what you actually want to achieve. Don't just go through the motions with it. I've said all this. I get carried away and I say all my notes now. Look at my notes and I've said it all already. So yeah, what I would say, guys, is the next 3 months, anything can be achieved. Anything. You have got the most phenomenal business in your hands. You're coming into the biggest quarter of the year. You can absolutely achieve anything. Remember that the only thing that you need to be aware of is what's going on up here. I don't know if you guys have heard this already, so sorry if you have, but I'll just really quickly, this was so powerful to me this week. So Marika, who's my area manager in New Zealand, was at AAC in Australia. For anyone who's in Australia, I know that you guys would have been there and you'll have heard this already, but I'll just tell you quickly. She said to me about Cecilia Stroll, had said to everyone in the audience, what if I had to ask you by the end of this month, can you sell like 5 RE9 ASVPs, 10 nutrition sets, and sponsor 5 people into your business, something like that? Who would do it? And everyone was like, I think like 2 people put their hand up in the audience. And then she said, okay, so if you could have my paycheck, how many people would do it? And of course, she's like, she's a 12-wide nation. She's like making like, I don't know, $500,000 a month or something like that. Like, how many people would do it? If someone said to you, okay, we've got 5 days left this month, you can have Cecilia Stoll's paycheck this month if you go and do that, you would do it. You would find a way. But what we need to do is find the way now, even without getting the paycheck. Because if we ever want that paycheck, we have to do that thing right now. And that's how we will be able to achieve that. So I found that so powerful. I was like mind blown. That woman's amazing. And I'd love to just have a wee bit of her paycheck actually. So anyway, guys, I hope that has helped you to get into the mindset that you need to really smash out this quarter. You can do it. Anything. Everybody needs to earn that incentive and beyond, because you all deserve it so much. So thank you for having me on, and have a lovely evening and day if you're over in Australia, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley. That was amazing. And I'm so glad we've got that recorded as well. So many truth bombs, so many things. I love that Jim Rohn quote as well. And I love what you said about never trust your future self. It's so true. We can be so good at putting it off. I'll do that. I'll get round to that. I'll do that. And actually never trust your future self. Love it. Love it. So thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to come and jump on this call and train everyone. It's so appreciated, and we will see you soon at AAC. Thanks everyone. Good night for now. Bye.